What is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys episode 16 of the Pokemon Sweet Nuzlocke Let's Play. If you guys are just as hyped as I am, show your love on that like button down below, as your support is of course greatly appreciated. If you missed the last episode, go check that out in the description below too. Of course, you guys might have noticed I did miss an upload on this series on Tuesday. I did tweet out why I was missing the upload, but it was mainly due to Sun and Moon news hype. Obviously, they released the new starters, the release date, and of course the legendary Pokemon, and I just felt that it was the best use of my time personally to really grind out Sun and Moon content that day and really focus on that, and also focus on Cage Lock. So I do apologize to the loyal Pokemon Sweet viewers. I do appreciate you guys so much, but I'm sure you guys can understand why I missed an upload. I'm usually pretty good with that stuff. In fact, I rarely miss uploads, but that was one of those ones that ended up being actually pretty calculated. I figured, you know what, I'm gonna end up like hustling way too hard today. I ended up working, I think, from 7 a.m. roughly till about 11 on Tuesday. So I was busy that entire period of time, and it just didn't work out. So enough excuses. I do have to tell you guys a little secret. I have pulled a Jon Snow, and I have brought Banana back from the dead. So I know you may be like, aDrive, you can't just do that. You can't just bring Banana back from the dead. And I'm like, you know what? I just did. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but I actually need to figure out where I'm supposed to go here. So I think this is where I'm supposed to go. We're gonna go to Orange City here. So I realized I never picked up the bike at any point in time, so I did have to pull a Jon Snow and bring this thing back from the dead just so we can get our bike here, because I don't have any other flying type Pokemon. So let's hop into this cycle shop, and hopefully they'll be so generous to give us a bike. There you go. So we did get our bicycle. So I just needed that so we can continue in the game, because I actually wasn't even sure what we were gonna do otherwise. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about those new starter Pokemon, right? So you guys probably saw that they did obviously release the region, the Alola region, which of course has those beautiful 3 starters. You got Popplio, you got Rowlet, and you've got Litten, which I still struggle with the names. I still tend to forget the names, but those are the names. And I've seen a lot of theories about what the final evolutions are going to be, and I think that's actually a really interesting topic. So I'm hoping you guys can kind of weigh in here and give your perspective, as I would love to hear it. But let me make some adjustments to my party here. I do need to kind of put Bannaby back into the death box here, and we'll just take out our Pawnsauer here. So that, unfortunately, I did have to kind of make some adjustments there, but it was better than trying to find a Pokemon to catch and all that stuff just to fly. I don't really need fly that often. So I've heard some pretty cool stuff about these starter Pokemon, and one of the things that I thought was really neat, and one of my favorite theories so far, that I actually posted about when I saw the Litten, you know, the fire starter, I was like, you know what, I have a really neat idea here. As we run into another Smorelax, I'm actually not going to catch this one though. It doesn't really seem to be a reason for me to catch a second Smorelax, but maybe we'll try to knock it out. It is beautiful though, it is beautiful, but it's not quite the same. It's just not quite the same. So I'm gonna go for a chocolate double kick here, because I know it's super effective and it'll probably do a decent amount. So if you know that the starter Pokemon, the fire type starters, are related to the Chinese zodiac, that's been kind of one of those things that's floated around the internet for a long time now. And as we've seen new fire starters come out, we've seen their relevance to this, you know, these animals that are located on this zodiac wheel, right? So a couple ones to kind of give you an idea so you're aware of what I'm talking about. And you could just look it up, like Pokemon Fire Starter, Zodiac, or whatever. But Charmander and Charizard fall into the Dragon category. And then you have things like Torchic and Blaziken falling into the Rooster category. Then you have Cyndaquil and Cyndaquil and Typhlosion actually end up in the rat category, and you might be like, but they're not rats. Well, if you actually look, its description is fire mouse. So, and also echidnas and porcupines, I believe, they're all actually in a similar family. For Rodentia, I believe, is the order, is what it's called. So I'm not brushed up in my taxonomy, so bear with me if my terminology is slightly off, but those are just some examples there. And then I think you have, you know, Fennekin, the fox, and Delphox actually fall into the dog category, because again, same kind of idea, Canidae or canines, so they're obviously in that family. And then who am I forgetting here? I got Charmander, Cyndaquil, who's the third one? Chimchar. Oh yes, there's a monkey one too, right? So I mean, you look at all that and you're like, wow, okay, so this starts to make sense. And now there happens to be, if you look at the newest starter, Litten, and you try to say, okay, which one does Litten fall into? Does it fall into any of these? Well, actually it does. It falls into the tiger one. Now, does that mean Litten is going to be a tiger? I don't know, but does it mean that I think it's going to be a tiger? Yeah, it does. I think it's going to end up being a tiger. So for that purpose alone. Just the fact that the Zodiac sign has lined up with the fire starters now for 6 generations, and it looks like this will be the 7th. So I'm really feeling like Litten is going to end up being a fire tiger, which is really cool. And you might be like, oh man, what about, you know, all those other cool Pokemon? Like, what about Pyro and Litleo? And, you know, but those are lions. So, I mean, you could totally have a tiger. Like, tigers are different than lions, man. And if you look, its markings make it kind of look like it could be a tiger. I totally think it's going to be a pretty sweet tiger. And, you know, in terms of typing, I think a lot of people are speculating dark type. And it very may well be. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's early. Plumberell wants to learn double kick. Yo, I'm about that life. I'm about that double kick life. We don't need a pound. We've got quick attack and the other thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for Litten here, and people are speculating poison and fire, potentially even dark and fire. So I'm not sure what the final evolution is going to be like, but if you think of things like Luxray, it looks like it should be dark type, and it's just not. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But in terms of the other starters, there's this theme theory right now, and I saw a lot of fan art, and I recommend, guys, going on like Reddit and just giving some credit to these artists, because it's just tremendous what people are doing in terms of, you know, their artistry and stuff. And actually, if you see my new YouTube avatar, my Twitter avatar was done by my friend Gina Paqueta Monsta, and she made just a beautiful drawing in general. I was really excited about that. So a couple really cool things there. I'm gonna go for Bite because I think it's gonna do more damage, and I'll go for Growl, I guess. You know, so there's this theory right now that the 3 starter Pokemon are gonna be all Circus related, and I saw some fan art and I was like really excited about it because it kind of makes sense. So the first one was a tiger with a ring of fire around it. So if you think about it this way, like, I think there's like a big circus thing of like, you know, a tiger, whatever, Flurry Blitz, the heck. You know, jumping through a ring of fire, a hoop of fire. So I've seen some fan art with that, and I think that's really cool. I definitely think that's really cool. So that's kind of like one of my main theories or thoughts, I suppose, for that. In terms of, you know, the other ones, like the seal is very clearly circus related in some way. Poplio. It's got the little, it blows out the little bubbles, and if you look up like circus seals or whatever, you can see them with the little thing around its neck, like the little, I don't even know what to call it, placemat or whatever that gets. I don't even know what it is, but the little thing around its neck, and then they have like little balls that they can balance on their nose and stuff. So when you kind of take all those things into consideration, you're like, oh wow, that makes sense. But then what would the owl be? Because, you know, what's the owl's relevance to, you know, the games or just like circuses in general? And kind of to backtrack a minute too, before we get too far here, is last time in NX and Y, when they came out with new starters in terms of Chestnut, you know, Greninja and Delphox, they actually had their own roles. I don't know what the reference is, but you've got your wizard, you've got your ninja, and then you've got your like fighter or something like that. It's like it's supposed to represent the mage and the you know, those like the classes that you would get in like an RPG apparently, right? So you've got your like your fighter dude, your like combat guy, you've got your mage, and then you've got your like quick stealthy ninja, and that's kind of fit with those 3. So that was kind of neat too, if you think about it that way. Like there was that theme there, so totally feasible for this circus theme to be the case with these starters. And that's really what I'm thinking. That's really like deep down what I'm thinking this is gonna be. So now you talk about this owl, and I thought it was just like, I'm thinking about this owl and I'm like, what is this thing going to look like when it fully evolves? Right, what is this thing going to look like when it fully evolves? Because it's an owl, is it going to just get to be a bigger owl? And I just think of Noctowl when I think of it. I'm just like, it's just going to look like a really ridiculous Noctowl is what it's going to look like. And then I'm like, I'm looking through fan art and stuff, and I see these people drawing griffins. And I guess griffins are kind of like bird, mammal type of deals where it's like a bird and the face and stuff, but it has 4 legs. And it looks amazing, dude. Like, some of the fan art I've seen of Rowlet's final evolution of being a griffin makes so much sense, and they add these spins on it to make it seem like, oh god, Moringle. That was far too close for comfort. I'm glad I noticed that. Okay, let's go to Smorelax here. But, alright, we'll go for Growl too. So, the fan art I've seen of these, you know, this griffin thing, it's just, oh my goodness. So you've got your 2 circus components, but then how does this griffin or this owl relate to this circus? And the biggest thing I could think of that I've seen through fan art, again, and these aren't really my ideas, they're more so inspired by things I've seen on the internet already, but making it kind of like a, what is the term? Like a magician, I guess, like Houdini, essentially. Like, there's some I've seen of it looking like a Houdini, essentially. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool way to kind of look at it and make it so he's like, kind of, but then I don't know if that makes him like too important comparative to the other two in the circus role, but either way, it's really exciting to think about what these starters are going to look like, and hopefully I'll put out some videos in the next couple days or whatever, and maybe do some speculation. I don't know. I tend to be the kind of person who likes to sit back and wait to see what they're going to do, as opposed to being the guy who's like putting out all this speculation videos. But that's just me. I mean, I have an imagination, but simultaneously, like I also focus on, you know, what I know to be true, and I don't know, I tend to not be as creative as some people, so it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation, but either way, I'm excited for all three starters. I think they're gonna be really, really cool, and I'm excited for Team Rowlet, man. I love the little owl dude, but it is still a little bit early to really make a full determination of what its final state is going to look like, or what your favorite one is going to be once you see those final stages. That's a huge difference, you know. Once we see what their final stage is going to be, then it tends to get a little bit easier to decide which ones are your favorite. So either way, lots of stuff to be excited for with Pokemon Sun and Moon, and now we have a release date, which I did call in the last episode, by the way. So if you're watching this one right now, I think that's deserving of a like rating for the fact that I totally called the release date flawlessly last time, and I called that it was going to be starter release, and I called that it was going to be legendary release. I mean, I'll be honest, it wasn't like I came up with anything, you know, groundbreaking. I just kind of based it off of what they did last time for X and Y, and it just made sense. Excuse me. I've got this like yawn thing going on lately. I don't know what happened. I've just been yawning a lot, guys. I've been tired. Sorry. I'm like hustling today. I woke up kind of early to get some videos done, so my apologies. But let's go heal this hunger off before we lose a Pokemon here. Let me see if I have like a berry or something that I could use for this. Paralyze, heal, antidote, cures hunger. Okay, good. Let's use that one, because Smorelax, I don't know if Smorelax is going to make it all the way there. But I do need to heal up, because our team is not exactly doing the greatest here. You know, so anyway, I'm excited for the Sun and Moon stuff, and I'm really excited for the release date. November 18th is a really like solid date. Sorry. It's a really good date in my opinion. It's right before Thanksgiving and Black Friday in the US. Now, I know my friends in Europe, guys, I feel for you so badly. I don't know what is up with this, but the European release dates being later is so obnoxious to me, man. I'm not trying to hate on the Pokemon company, but I don't get it. Why? Why are you gonna do that? Like, why are you gonna do that? That's so unfair. You guys just get the shaft. If you're in the UK, you just get the shaft every time with Pokemon. It never fails. Strawberry Slide, new Pokemon, baby. Let's go. Let's catch something. Maybe it'll be a strawberry type. Okay, so we have a Duplicate's Clause, so I'm not gonna go for this one. I'm not gonna go for this one because of Duplicate's Clause. I just can't do it. I can't do it. We need something new. We need something new. Give me something new. Bam. Applin. Bam. Got a new Pokemon. Let's catch it. I'm hyped about the little homie Applin. Oh god, I almost destroyed him. You know, so anyway, I think the release date is perfect. Now, you guys know I've been talking about the potential trying to move prior to this, hold on, a somewhat different ball that progressively better the more turns there are. Weaker Pokesweets. So my plan is to move prior to Sun and Moon coming out. This thing just broke out. And be all settled in my new place before that. That's my plan. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Some stuff has kind of gone on recently in life that has kind of potentially messed up my plans a little bit. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but it's not gonna like ruin things. I'm still gonna like, you know, be able to put out content and like go so hard for Sun and Moon, and just really excited to create the content. But I don't know. I'm a little unsure now in terms of my plans. Now, everything could be totally fine. Basically, what I need to do, guys, I'm just gonna be straight up because I like to talk about, you know, real life, and I think it's important that you guys know what's going on with me. But what I gotta do is in the next couple of days, I need to go to a bank, and I need to try to get pre-approved for a house loan or a mortgage. And I'm really nervous about that because, you know, so here's the thing: when you're buying a house, I'm gonna fall into a category that there's a law that allows for people like myself to get houses, and it's called the first-time home buyers is what it's called in the United States. Now, I don't know if other countries have this program or anything like that, but what it means is a first-time home buyer is given the opportunity to purchase a house in the United States with fewer restrictions than someone else, and that's to just encourage younger people and just people in general who have never bought a house to have the opportunity to do exactly that, is to buy a house essentially. and it allows you standardly in the US. Typically, what you have to do is put down 20% of a down payment on the house. So if you're gonna buy a $100,000 house, you're gonna have to put 20% down on that. So that's $20,000. So this is a lot of money we're talking about, right? This is like a serious amount of money. I'm not gonna get into the financial details, but the first time home buyers program actually allows you to put as low as 3.5% down on the house, which is a lot different. That's $3,500 instead of $20,000. That's a huge difference, right? Now, for me, I'm hoping to be able to kind of figure out some alternative options that make a little bit more sense, because obviously the less you put down, the more you're gonna owe on this house in the long term. So Cotton Crater, I definitely want to see if we can catch a new Pokemon here. Are these all trainers? Yeah, they are. You know, so the more you put down, the less you're gonna pay in monthly payments, and the less you'll owe in the future of the house. And there's another factor too that's really interesting called PMI. Which is it's an insurance you have to pay on a house until you reach a 20% threshold. Once you have paid off 20% of the house, you actually don't have to pay this PMI anymore. So those are a couple things to kind of factor in here too. So either way, as a self-employed person, obviously I'm self-employed. This is what I do for a living. I play, you know, do YouTube and Twitch. Banks aren't exactly the biggest fans of people like myself that are self-employed. They don't like us, and there's a reason for it, and it's understandably so. With what I do, I have very little stability in terms of, you know, how much money I make every day or every month or whatever it is, right? It's very variable, simply because it goes by, you know, my income on a given week or month or whatever is so heavily dependent on, you know, YouTube, you know, obviously is a huge part of it. And ultimately it comes down to, you know, how many people watch my videos and the kind of videos I put out and things like that. So there's other factors there too. It comes down to Twitch. So obviously, you know, Twitch subscriptions and ad revenue from Twitch, which is very little. I don't actually run ads on my Twitch streams, really, so that's very minimal. And then, you know, the generosity of you guys supporting, you know, the stream and just what I do through donations, which is absolutely mind-blowing, guys. Like, still, I can't believe to this day that you guys turn up like you do. So if you ever stop on my Twitch streams and you support it or whatever, just know that I'm like super thankful and appreciative that I can even talk about this in the first place and have this opportunity. It's like, seriously, guys, I'm like so blown away and just so thankful that that you guys support like you do. So, but because of all that, I don't have much stability in what I do because it's so variable, right? You know, so and it's not guaranteed. So anyway, apparently this causes issues for banks, and they're not fans of people like myself because they want to ensure that if they're gonna give me a loan for a house, that I'm gonna be responsible enough to pay it back, right? They want, it's 30 years to pay this bad boy back is what it would be, and they want to make sure that I can actually pay it back over 30 years. Now, I personally know that I'll be able to pay it back. I know I will. You know why? Because I'm a hustler. That's how I am. I'm gonna bust my tail. If YouTube and Twitch doesn't go as well as it needs to, I'll be working, you know, at nights at a restaurant trying to make some extra money. I'll go get a job at, you know, Walmart if I have to make money. I'll do whatever I have to. Like, I'm a hustler. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure that myself and my family are taken care of. And it's not about the money. It's not always about the money by any means. It's definitely not. Oh my goodness, that did so much more than I thought it was going to. It's never about that, so please don't ever think that it's about that. But obviously, you know, adults have bills to pay and things like that, so I think you guys get that. But either way, so I personally know that I'll figure it out, right? I know I'm gonna figure it out. I know I'm gonna be able to hustle. If worse comes to worse and Twitch and YouTube end tomorrow, I'm not gonna say I'll be able to get a job instantly, but I think I have some backup plans if I need them, you know? Like I said, that's why it's so important that I feel that I have my college degree, that I have real life work experience, that I worked on Wall Street, that I worked for a top research company in the United States, like in the world actually. Like, I have some real, like a decent resume for someone at 25 years old, and I started my own business. Like, that's pretty sweet. So I feel really comfortable in the fact that if I needed a backup plan or something goes horribly wrong or whatever, that I can make it happen. But I don't think anything's going to go horribly wrong because I know that I'm gonna be the guy out there making videos every single day and engaging with my audience and just showing why or how much I love Pokemon and just showing you guys the best content I could possibly make. And I really feel like we're only gonna go up from here as long as I stay on top of things. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest struggle that a lot of you know, YouTubers end up in, is they kind of get complacent where they are and they think it's cool, and then they start to slack because, hey, I'm making a little bit of money, like, you know. And I'm not saying anyone particularly by any means. I'm not taking anything negatively towards anyone. I have a lot of respect towards a lot of different content creators, and so many content creators. It's not easy to do this. Oh god, he went for dig. I gotta switch. I gotta switch because I think it's the chocolate type move. and we are weak to chocolate type, so we definitely have to switch out here. Let's go into the cream tub. I think cream tub is probably gonna be a safe bet here. So I know though that with Sun and Moon coming out, I have an opportunity to really grind harder than ever before and make some things go down on Twitch. Like, you know, right now I accidentally went for a rest and I didn't mean to. Right now, like, we're doing really well on Twitch and stuff, and I'm hoping to stream more hours, and, you know, YouTube is going really well, and I'm just really excited to have these opportunities and have you guys showing the love on these videos and stuff, guys. It really does mean a tremendous amount if I can't emphasize it enough. You know, so my hope is that things are only going to get better, but the bank doesn't know that, right? They don't know that. They don't care. They just see what's right in front of them, and they don't know me, and they don't know the kind of person I am. So it's going to be up to me to try to demonstrate all these things. Now, there's other factors too here that I'm playing with in terms of your credit score. They're going to look at my credit score and they're going to say, you know, are you a reliable person for us to give this money to based on your previous credit history? And at 25, my credit history is relatively limited. I've had a credit card since I was 18, but I don't have any mortgages. I don't have any car loans. I don't have any of that stuff. My credit history is pretty much entire. I don't have student loans either. Those are actually all taken care of. I'm very lucky at my age to have, you know, aside from my rent and my normal bills, I actually am very lucky that I don't have any debt really. So that's really cool. But they're going to look at my credit history and they're going to see, okay, like this guy has done this guy's done this. And luckily for me, I've had a credit card since I was 18, and I went off on Twitter about this the other day, guys, and I really encourage you guys to dig through my tweets or whatever, but I'll talk a little bit about it right now. Is to establish credit young and use it responsibly. It's so incredibly important, because when you end up in my situation at, you know, 25 years old, trying to, you know, move and hopefully get a house situation for me and my family and things like that, like, it's gonna come in handy. So anyway, my credit score, they say I think between 740 and 749 and 800 or whatever is like amazing, and then when you get above 800, it's exceptional. And my credit score is actually right around 800, slightly above 800. It really depends. It goes every month. It kind of fluctuates a little bit based on the credit report I pull from my one of my credit card companies. So my credit card, oh my goodness, it's a pie duck. I thought it was shiny for a second. I got so excited. Oh my goodness. Are you gonna die if I double kick you? You definitely don't look like your chocolate type. Oh, okay, we crit him. We're fine. He's not gonna die. We got 2 crits in a row? Bro, I was gonna get a pie duck. What are the chances, man? 2 crits in a row and I can't get the pie duck because of it? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I am very unhappy about that. Wow. What are the chances that I get 2 crits in a row? That is so ridiculous. So yeah, my credit score is really good. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that that's going to be a huge help in the decision-making process in terms of the bank, you know, wanting to, you know, kind of work with me and stuff. So there's a couple of things going in my favor, but there are some things that are not going in my favor, especially since me doing YouTube and Twitch is a very limited scope of time. It's I'm closing it on 2 years, but realistically only, you know, about a year full time. So it's really not much history for them to look back on and stuff like that. So all these things are very important. Oh, so there's actually a new route down there too called the Milky Coast. So some pretty interesting stuff going on. I don't actually remember that, but that's okay. Let's kind of explore the houses here. I baked my own. I could get you a Torkoal. I need 4 chesto berries. I don't have any 4 chesto. Do I have 4 chesto berries? Because if I do, I'm about to get this Torkoal, man. That's gonna be sick. Tell me I have 4 chesto berries. I do. We're about to get a Torkoal, baby. I think this thing is gonna be sweet. Pun intended. Oh yeah, let's see what's in this house too. Kind of explore the townskis. I'm the move deleter. Would you like me to delete a move? No. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by. aDrive. All right, let's get rid of our Pokemon here. We're gonna go to the move or the Pokesweet Baker. That's a cool feature that they have that. Let's get rid of the Pawn Sour. I love Pawn Sour, but I feel like I gotta see what this other dude looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna add this dude to my team yet, or if I'm gonna keep Pawn Sour, or what I'm gonna do. I just want to see what this thing looks like first. I could bait you a Torkoal. So I don't know if this is gonna be a Torkoal, but looking different, or what it's gonna be. We're gonna find out right now, though. What are you gonna be? Oh, it is a Torkoal variant. It is banana flavored, and it has good defenses, really slow, own tempo, lick, supersonic, defense curl, and knockoff. But this is old school knockoff, so it's absolutely terrible. He's level 20. I think I'm gonna go with the other guy for now, but it is cool to have this dude in the party. I'm not a big fan of him though. I don't think that's That's the kind of Pokemon I want on my team right now. So let me go grab my Pawnsauer back, which I do want to train up. I do want to take some time to grind and train up, but we'll definitely get there for that. So either way, let's make the adjustments here. Let's move. We're moving. Can I grab this guy? Let's see if it lets me do this. I hate the way this. They definitely made the party features so much better in the new games. Oh my goodness, like the box features. Oh god, this is so brutal to use. So that's kind of what's going on in my life right now, trying to figure all that stuff out and hoping for the best. And who knows what's going to happen? I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to go well or not. But either way, there's always a backup plan, right? I make sure people aren't lost in the woods. Oh, so I actually do need strength here. Do I have strength? I don't know if I ever grab strength, to be honest. I might have to get it soon. I might not have even had an opportunity to get strength there. I definitely don't have it, so we might have to go into the safari zone or whatever here pretty soon. Let's see what's kind of going on in this here. It's called Berry City. Let's check out the backyard. Got some Pokesweets back here. Well, there's nothing really back here, but this seems kind of suspicious. Oh, baby, who just found a max revive looking on the ground? I thought it was suspicious. I was like, there's got to be something here. I called it. Random max revive, but I wonder why there's just an empty house back there. Well, either way, let's go this way now and kind of explore. So I think if we went back this way, this is the Berry Road, so that could take us back to... I don't know. The Black Forest has a zoo in front of the entrance. Ooh, really? That's kind of neat. Oh, here's the zoo, I think. So here's a Meowfin. So we knew that. Here is an Eggbee. Oh, I want an Eggbee so bad. And here's a Kerator. That's cool that they have a little zoo. The Applin there, were you wanting that? Me too. That's a Pokesweet. This guy's going to end up being really overweight if he has that attitude this whole time. 2 are Ranberries, so it's cool that we get the berries too throughout the world. Citrus berries. The Black Forest holds many secrets, I heard. Oh boy. Kangas Cake. Yep, so we did run into some Kangas Cakes at one point. And Psyduck. Unfortunately, Psyduck, as beautiful as it is, I got 2 crits on it, so that just wasn't gonna happen. I think we're pretty much at the Safari Zone. Have you seen my boy Oscar? He went into the Black Forest. I hope he's not okay, but the Halloween area is spooky. Ooh, I'm really excited now. I'm really excited to check that out. I think we're gonna head into that forest here at some point, but let's see what's going on here. Move reminder, so that's just the move reminder, and then this is the guy I talked to a minute ago. So I think we're pretty much good here, guys. I think what we're gonna do is on the next episode, I'm gonna head into this forest here, and we're gonna test our luck. Is my team healed up? My team's healed up. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head into the Black Forest here in the next episode. So get excited for that, guys. Show your love on that like button down below. Let me know what you think the starters are gonna evolve into. We did discuss that a little bit at the beginning of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Dan, also by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.